is right for health care reform. We know this is a historic opportunity we've never seen before and may not see again.
All right, well, I know this is going to sound a little crazy here, but I have a request for Washington. Just one request, just 2 words. Slow down. 3 more. What's the rush? Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and here's the deal. Big deals stink, but rush big deals really stink. So if you are going to do a big health care deal anyway, you might as well slow things down. The way I figure it, nationalized health care seems to be coming one way or the other. I still don't know how nationalized or how big. Just that with a Democratic House and overwhelmingly Democratic Congress, well, we've moved beyond whether this is going to happen to just how. All I'm seeing is, well, just be careful rushing the how part. The devil truly is in the details. Just ask all the folks who rushed that $800 billion stimulus plan and now can't explain why only $40 billion has made its way to us. Or that in the rush to get checks out, more than 10,000 of those checks would be going out to dead people. And let us just ask the last administration, really that was hot to trot on Medicare prescription drug plans. It promised it would only cost about $200 billion, right? Today, more like 600 billion smackers. You see, that's what happens when you don't happen to stop and see what's happening. After all, if you are going to throw good money after bad, you might as well take your time so you could explain how much good money went exactly how bad and how soon. Which leads me to my next guest to ask, as I have, what indeed is the rush? To Missouri Congressman Akin, who experienced firsthand the consequences of the last administration's attempt to reform Medicare and fears we might be doing this all over again. So, Congressman, welcome to you.
Neil, it's a pleasure to join you, and I think you're asking an absolutely excellent question. You know, this whole idea of rushing to judgment is a tactic that's used to try to obscure something that doesn't pass a smell test.
All right, you know, it's interesting, though. Normally everyone says, oh, you know, Washington, get moving, but this is one of those occasions where, you know, discretion might be the better form of valor, and going slow and studying what people are doing might be the better form of valor. But this does seem to be a runaway freight train. Where's it going?
Well, you know, we've heard so many people talking about, well, we've got to have transparency. That was promised by the president, by Nancy Pelosi. There's going to be transparency. You'll have 48 hours at least to look over a bill. And then we saw this bill. It was supposedly a stimulus package. Got it at 11:30 at night, and then the next day, there it is to vote on it. No 48 hours. But it contained all these little things like protecting mice in Nancy Pelosi's district, and then that embarrassing bit about protecting those special bonus checks that were going to be going to the AIG executives. That became very embarrassing as the president and the Senate both said, oh, we didn't know that was in there. And again, the transparency piece. One of the ways that you get legislation through, Neil, is that you have thousands of pages and you put the little details in where you hope people won't read it and vote on it before they know what they're doing.
Well, you're outmanned and outgunned, right? You got a party that can pretty much control the agenda by a president who's trying to ram it. So where is all this headed? The president would like all this on his desk by August, maybe sign something by October. Doable?
Well, here's the problem. There are these uncomfortable little details when the government tries to take over the entire American healthcare system. The first is the mass of that undertaking. The second thing, of course, is that you're going to use bureaucrats to regulate people's care instead of the doctor-patient relationship. That's not an easy thing to sell to the American public. They don't want people with the compassion of the IRS making their health care decisions, and they don't want the efficiency of the post office. In addition, you're going to have to accompany this with a huge tax increase. That's not particularly popular either, and you start adding these very unpopular components together, and I don't think it's as much a foregone conclusion as what you're saying. In fact, we just saw this very, very unpopular cap and trade or cap and tax bill just apparently at least dying for the moment of its own weight. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion.
But do Democrats share that view? I know, understand Republicans are this view, but by and large, these guys, that is the majority, has been marching in lockstep.
Well, they certainly tend to vote in lockstep, and again, they'll tend to do that, just as you say, if you can push this into a rush to judgment and not let people know what the details are. The question is, can Nancy Pelosi do that and corral everybody and get them to make some votes that will make their constituents extremely angry and ruin American health care? I'm not so sure it's as easy as maybe people may think. If you take a look, they've opened a lot of cans of worms, and a lot of them have not passed. But this will be the big test. I agree with you.
Congressman, we'll watch it. Thank you, sir, very much.
It's a pleasure to join you, Neil.
Fair and Balanced now, the president calling our current health care system a ticking time bomb, but can we afford to defuse this bomb?